You're watching League Magazine. We are here in Tallahassee, Florida for the Mid-Season Invitationals, and with me, I have YellOwStar. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm quite well, actually. Normally people just say hi. That's cool. So you've had quite a few good matches so far, and obviously in particular two stand out, and we will be talking a bit about them. The matches against the Asian teams have, let's be fair, they've gone how everybody expected them to go, because those guys are brutal. But your first game with TSM, I mean, you pulled a quick one on those guys, and you even did a sneaky little gank up the middle that nobody realized. What prompted you to go roaming? I mean, what prompted you to think that Rek'Sai was at no point going to show up and stop you, and then you kind of just went up and ganked mid? What made you do that?
I think it's because we had a pushing bot lane, so yeah, I was free to do whatever I wanted to, so I could just go base, or if I have a good opportunity, then I would just go straight for it, because it's going to give an advantage to my mid laner. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, but then it worked. But looking at the games, looking at the later one as well. I mean, obviously the one everybody's going to be talking about for quite a while. You were currently, we don't know how HQ is actually doing right now, but you were currently the only team to give SKT a fight for their money. You were the only team to really, fight back. And then that bug happened, and that completely threw everything off. But from your perspective, if you were to describe that game as it felt for you playing it, what's your take on it? What's your take on the development and what happened and what went wrong?
So we've been practicing against SKT for the past 2 days, and it was a good practice for us. Well, it means that they really like practicing against us as well, because they keep like coming towards us and keep asking like, yeah, guys, do you want to play? And so yeah, I mean, it went even, so we kind of want our revenge against them, because it was actually a close game. I think they don't really like fighting a lot, so that's why they really like a slow paced game. Yeah, SKT really like controlling, with the vision, and that's why they buy a lot of side stones. Like, they have wards everywhere basically, and I think that's why we are able to like put a good fight against them. But yeah.
And then it happened. Flashgate, which is, I coined it first. You heard it here on League Mag. Flashgate. That's what happened. Anyway, you also managed to actually take the first dragon of the tournament from them. I mean, so far they've been dominating everything else with it. You guys kind of nicked the first one, which was kind of, I think you did. Yeah, you kind of cool.
They took the first race.
Yeah, no, they took the first one, but you were the first ones to take one from them. So far, they've been dominating Dragon, but you guys kind of sneaked in and went, that one's ours, thank you, which was kind of cool as well. So I mean, all in all, I obviously, being European, I obviously felt you should have had that game. But it was a really interesting game to watch. Moving on, as you do, you're kind of in an interesting position right now. You were making history at the Spring Finals, and you actually stand to make history again. You're one of the only people to make it to all finals, and you and Dyrus are some of the only, I think you are the only two people who can make it to all 5 worlds. But you're the only two. So does this mean that you're like the last of the old guard? Is this like the coming of the new era? What's your take on that?
It's true that there are so many young talents that want to take our spots, so we have to watch out. I mean, I mean, if MSI was words, then I would be the last one, because Darius is now out.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. You heard that, Darius. Up your game. I mean, obviously, having been on Fnatic for so long and having all this experience, do you feel somehow the other players kind of come to you because you've really grown into your role as a shot caller? You've shown time and time again that you're kind of like the backbone of the team by now. You're really good at just being what you're supposed to be, but making sure that people are what they're supposed to be. Do you find they come to you for advice? Do they listen to you in any way?
I think they respect me a lot, because like whenever I say something, like, it's super quiet, super silent, whether it's in game or outside of the game, because I mean, they're young, they live far from mom and dad, and they are not used to do some stuff in real life, for example, so we kind of have to teach them with the coach or manager. And in game, I think I have a lot of experience, and whenever I see something happening, it's like a chain reaction that they don't necessarily know. So once it happened, then I explained them why and how, and then yeah, I mean I just teach them, and this is how it goes.
There are rumors speculating. I won't ask you to confirm them. I won't even get into it. We're not going to dwell on whether it's true or not. But there are rumors circulating that you and Reckless might be teaming up, at least as a sub or something. Is that something you'd be looking forward to again, playing with Reckless all over?
Well, right now we're doing great with Silva. I mean, like we win the spring split, and then now we come into MSI. Even though we had like some sloppy games against HQ and EDG, I felt like we single-handedly lost the bot lane. That was really unfortunate because we're not used to play against the best teams in the world that are going to punish your mistakes, and they really abuse it. I mean, they're really going for it. They're not like joking around, and yeah, we're experiencing, and this is good for us. So we're actually getting a good practice for words, and this is our main goal right now.
Oh, cool. Speaking of rumors, and this one has nothing to do with you guys or anything else, there is talk circulating that the LCS will change to adopt a bit of the Korean mentality, the fact that you get to have substitutes. In your opinion, do you think this is like a good thing for LoL? Do you think that overall all regions should kind of play like the Korean meta, where you have substitutes and your best of threes and stuff like that, so you can bring different players? Do you think that's something we need?
It can help. Also, first of all, like let's say it can be like complementary in the sense that, for example, one guy is really good at assassins, and the other guy is really good at mages. So like it helps, and at the same time it also keeps up the competition, because if you're like too laid back, then okay, I'm not gonna practice because I have a safe spot, and then no, someone is waiting behind you. So if you don't perform good enough, or if you don't practice hard enough, then there is someone that is going to take your spot. So I mean, it's competitive, so I expect it to be like really tough.
Okay. And looking at that, obviously making things tougher, if you look at the teams currently at the MSI, you see a lot of aggression. Everybody's aggressive. Everything is like fight. And out of the Western teams, you seem to be doing better with this than TSM. Why do you think that is? Because most of TSM is European and Korean. So, they should have the same background. And why do you think that you somehow adapted better? Is that a European thing, or how do you think that is?
I don't think so, because before Huni and Rangover came to Europe, like the European style was rather passive, and then when they joined our team, then it was like actions all the time. They were diving top, they were invading jungle, and this is what I really like, because it's also my style, like roaming, making plays around the map. But at the same time, you have to be on the same page. So you need to controlling aggressions. So it's really good. Yeah, I still remember when Europe like had like 5 kids in like 30 minutes. So it was really boring.
We all remember that time, and we don't want it back.
So, but we get a good practice. For example, against Unicorns of Love, they really like fighting as well. So that's why coming to MSI, I could understand why teams would say like Fnatic are underdogs, because it's a mess. I mean, we're fighting all the time, and you cannot judge from that. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and for those of you at home, for more at the MSI, stay tuned to LeagueMac.com. Ta.